Welcome back into the Ohio MMA podcast. I am your host, David McKinney. Joining me on today's episode, undefeated amateur MMA fighter Jadon Brewer. What's up, Jadon?
Hello?
You
Can
hear
you
me?
hear me? Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Cut
How's it
off for
going,
a
man?
second. Yeah, it's good. How are you?
Good. Sorry, man. Got a little bit of a laggy internet here. We'll work through it though.
All good, man.
Yeah, man. So you are returning to the cage on May 17th in Toledo, facing Jackson Lengthhorn at AFP 102. So come off the big win in your last fight. How's it feel to get back in there a couple months later?
It feels great, man. Last one went super well. Came out with no injuries. Nothing happened as far as physically or anything like that. So I was able to jump right back into it, continue my training. So I'm super excited. Just been pushing hard. Really ramped it up the last couple weeks. Feeling really good. Ready to get back out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, 7-second knockout in your MMA debut. Pretty impressive. I would ask if that was the plan, but I feel like you'd be crazy if that was a plan. But what's it like to go out there and get a win that quickly? Was it almost like kind of surreal, where it was like a little bit like not underwhelming is not the right term, but I feel like you were probably prepared for the full fight, and you got there, and 7 seconds later, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely prepared to go all 3 rounds. But it feels really nice. It felt really nice. That was just the showing out party though of the last 4 years of my training that I've really been putting in hard work. So, it like you said, it wasn't totally expected. Like I said, I was ready to go out there for all 3 rounds, but I didn't think it was going to last that long. 7 seconds might have been a little shorter than I thought, but yeah, it was kind of what I expected.
Yeah, and you talk about your experience. I know you have some Muay Thai fights under your belt. I know some grappling. It looks like you took a little bit of tried to compete in both the striking only bouts and also grappling prior to getting your start in MMA. So, what was kind of the thought process and competing in both striking and grappling before putting it all together in MMA?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I was fully prepared. I came into fighting. I didn't have any like combat experience growing up. I didn't start until after I was done with high school, and then I got into the MMA world, and I wanted to keep those two separate, just to make sure I was fully prepared. So I went into some grappling, did some Muay Thai fights, but always building MMA, putting it together in the practice room, but just keeping the competition aspect separately to see how I would fare in that. And I've just built that resume over the past few years, to the point where I felt fully confident going out there, no matter who I was going to face, and being able to show my skill set in that manner.
Yeah, I saw you just got your purple belt, I think, recently in
Mhm.
jiu-jitsu under Rob Hileman. So congrats on that,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. So you said how long have you been training in jiu-jitsu?
Um, just over 4 years. My 4 years was the end of March, so just a little bit over that. It feels really good, especially coming from him. Rob, he's a fantastic coach, good personal friend of mine. So, to get that under him, it feels amazing because he's not just going to give out a purple belt to anybody. So, to be able to get that, it feels really nice.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting. There seems to be kind of two different schools of thought in MMA of just the pure kind of grappling no gi or more traditional gi grappling and how do you feel like the gi grappling specifically translates over to MMA?
So, I've done some gi, but it's been primarily no gi. I do think it's a bit different, when you're dealing with the grips and everything like that. I'll still wear it every once in a while, but primarily most of my training with him has been no gi. So, that's been our main focus over these past few years.
Yeah, and the other interesting thing is I know you're training at Leverage, which is interesting that you leverage Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I don't think you guys have a big fight team, but what's it like coming out of kind of a more traditional Jiu-Jitsu gym? I know I'm sure you train striking and all the aspects of MMA, but coming out of kind of it's always interesting when you see a guy and it's like, oh, he's coming from a Jiu-Jitsu gym probably a grappler, and then and you go out there and knock guys out in 7 seconds. But is that maybe a little bit of use that to your advantage?
A little bit. Yeah, we're not particularly a fight gym. There's a few of us. My good training partner and friend Kyle O'Hare. He just fought on a made men card, April 19th. He had a first round sub. He's 2-0. We have some other people that we train with. It is a bit different because it throws people off, but yeah, we've been well versed in everything that we've done. We train all the striking, all the grappling, everything we do. We've done some cross training as well with some of the guys at Stout PGH. I got a ton of respect for all those guys there, the coaches, the fighters, everything like that. So we cross our T's and dot our I's to make sure that we got everything handled. Like you said, some people don't really expect it coming out of a jiu-jitsu gym to have somebody come out with striking like that. But we're here to show everybody that we have the total package. That's for sure.
Yeah, the stout fighters. I feel like stout has become, in the past handful of years, such a great kind of gym, not only for its own thing, but then being kind of a home and a hub for cross training from fighters from Pittsburgh and Eastern Ohio, like where you are. So that's cool to see so many fighters going over there and getting work in, and that, like I said, that's such a good gym, and you're going to get even different looks when you go to a kind of they also have, I think they have a Henzo Gracie affiliation still, but
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. They do have probably more of a quote unquote traditional MMA program where it seems like they just have a lot more like MMA fighters. You get that sense?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I got nothing but respect for all those guys there. They've always been super nice, super good training partners every time we go there. They're fun people to just hang around as well. So you definitely do get that sense. So it's nice because, like you said, they have a lot of people there. So just being able to see all the different bodies, all the different styles, things like that. See how I mesh up against those guys as well. It's good to see and just good to know where I stand as far as a mixed martial artist against everybody around in this area.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned Kyle O'Hare. He's such an enigma. I feel like on social media, and is always super active. He's like a social media star influencer. I don't know what you call it, but what do you think about having a teammate that's so kind of like wild and out there, and always willing to do stuff like that?
Oh, it's great. We're the perfect like contrast for each other. I'm a little bit more reserved. I'm not obviously as on social media as much as he is, but it's great to see him and get his due because you might see all the things on social media. You see the reels, you see all the memes and everything like that. But that kid's putting in work every day. He's in the gym. He's putting in work. This is just he finally is just getting to show his side of what he does, and hey, don't be fooled by all the hair. Don't be fooled by all the dancing and antics. That kid can fight. That's for sure.
Yeah, his his hair in his last fight, it was Easter weekend, and he had his Easter egg hair. Man, that
Oh
was one of the
yeah,
more unique things I think I've seen. But
yeah, yeah. When he came in, I just looked at him. I was like, that's definitely you, man.
yeah, it's interesting having a teammate like that, and as you said, yeah, you guys are kind of the perfect polar opposites, probably where you're a more reserved guy, but then yeah, it's always funny to see fighters like that, but then yeah, goes out
Mhm,
there and definitely backs it up, man. You see, I think he has couple of first round submission wins, a bunch of
mhm.
Muay Thai and kickboxing wins, so he's definitely been backing it up, and it looks like your gym, like I said, you're coming from a smaller gym, but you guys are starting to make a little bit of a name for yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the smaller gyms. Feel like it's a little bit more personalized. Um, that way we can tailor the training for ourselves, things like that. And we're under a watchful eye as well with our coaches, so they're able to see what things are working well, what things aren't working well, and we're able to build and train off those things. So we're making sure we're putting our best foot forward every time that we step in the cage. That's for sure.
Yeah, and outside of MMA, I was doing a little bit of social media stalking. It looks like your first love was the same as mine in baseball, and you're also a lefty like me. You looks like you pitched. I was never able to pitch. I wish I would have been able to be a left-handed pitcher. I would have been had a much better baseball career. But talk a little bit about your time playing baseball and being a lefty in baseball.
Oh yeah, yeah. Baseball was definitely my first love. I grew up playing from the time I was 3, all the way through elementary school, middle school, high school. And like you said, I was a lefty, so pitching was my love. I wasn't the best hitter out there. I was a bit slower too when I was in high school, so I was primarily a pitcher, first baseman, things like that. But yeah, I think it's helped transition my fighting as well. Because it's like I said, I didn't have like a fighting background. I went to a school we didn't even have wrestling. I didn't really know what wrestling was until after high school or anything like that. So, but the mechanics as far as swinging a bat and throw, good transition for that and hand-eye coordination. I played some other things like that, but just having the background of good hand train my body to move in a certain way. It's definitely helped for that. But yeah, baseball will always be my first love. Even though I love to fight now, baseball will probably always be my first love.
Yeah, you and me both, man. I feel like baseball is such a great sport just for like to chill. It's such a
Yeah.
different pace than any other sport almost, other than like golf. But yeah, do you feel like being a kind of a natural lefty? Because I feel like a lot of fighters will fight southpaw, but being a natural lefty, do you feel like that gives you a leg up as well?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's different. Same thing how it was in baseball. It's just not what your conventional style that you see. So, um, some people they've never fought somebody who's a natural southpaw. So, just being able to use that to my advantage, knowing where things like that, or not being used to it at least. We good?
Yeah, it cut out for a second. So yeah, you're back. Um, yeah, so I know
Okay.
you are. Yeah, so you actually it was interesting. You made your MMA debut and you fought on a promotion that was making their first they're having their first event as well, AFP. What was that like, and
Mhm.
how did the night go and the event go? How do you?
It was good. They were super helpful, super kind, every step of the way. Um, Helped me with everything that I needed. I felt like they had a great setup. The cage was amazing as well. I loved it. Obviously, it went well when I was inside the cage. So yeah, that's why I'm definitely trying. Definitely trying to get back on this card as soon as I saw that they were happy and ready to get back out there. So the moment I was able to get an opponent and get back on this card, I was super happy about it.
Yeah, and I know you're only like I said one fight into your MMA career, but and you're still a super young guy. I think you're 24, 23.
23.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
you're super young. What do you feel like is I know probably the eventual goal. I feel like every fighter is obviously UFC, but what do you feel like? Do you have any more like short term goals in maybe like the next year or two in your career?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Over the next year or two, I definitely want to stay active. Being able to get an amateur belt would be huge as well. I think that's, but I honestly just try to take it one step, one day at a time, one fight at a time. Um, I want to enjoy this journey as much as possible. I mean, you only get to be an amateur fighter once, so just enjoying the time. That's a huge thing for me. So I do have those goals. I set goals every week, every month, um, things like that. So I just try to take it one fight at a time. I do have those bigger goals. Like I said, eventually within the next year, I would love to fight for an amateur belt as well. But like I said, I take it one day at a time right now.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's good to have short-term and long-term goals. But you're getting back in the cage and here in a couple of weeks. Any sponsors, anything like that you got to mention, man?
Oh yeah, my good friend Samoa Rob, he has a brand Outcast Mentality. I'm actually wearing his hoodie right now. Um, that's a brand. The link is in my Instagram bio as well. If you want to take a look at any of his stuff, like I said, it's called Outcast Mentality. Great dude. Great apparel as well. Stuff feels amazing. So definitely want to shout those guys out.
Yeah, I noticed actually you had that in your Instagram, and I checked it out. They do have some cool stuff. So yeah, definitely go support Outcast Mentality. But yeah, man, May 17th. Back in Northwest Ohio, so you're traveling a little bit for this one. I know you're from the Warren Youngstown area, so you get a little bit of outside of your main area. But AFP 102 is at
And yeah.
AFP 102. If you can't check it out, I know that there's a live stream. I think it's on Spectation
Yep.
Sports. But yeah, man, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me on.
Yep, thanks. We'll be back next week with another episode.